start the recording up, and we'll take a look at what we're working with.
Ogna hook. Bastion on the left.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I do not know what to do. It's bad to rock. Bastion main on their side. Oh, that was bad.
Alrighty, so
I thought the hog was gonna keep going around, and preemptive rock is usually just a wasted rock.
Yeah, so when you're saying like I don't know what to do, right? Really, the big thing is just make sure that you're constantly shooting and you're constantly looking for damage, as that's something you should just be kind of constantly be doing on Sigma. You know, shooting doesn't affect your movement speed, so you should probably constantly just be left clicking. Oh, very nice. Alright, make sure paying attention to our health before we're ulting, as we did press Q while we were 4 HP. Alright, that means that if anybody taps us, we're dead, and that wouldn't be any good for us.
Okay, yeah, I was not even looking at that. That was bad.
Can you get a Genji, please? Oh, Junkrat, it's helpful.
Observe the barrier. Hog behind, watch out. What's that equation again? Help with hog.
I got caught focusing the tanks, and then when I realized it was like, I mean, I don't think the team had target focus there, and I was partially to blame. We're just shooting everybody.
So
we did.
So far, it's looking like our eat usage is fantastic. Our rock usage, I think that was something that we had been struggling with, and our rock usage is doing very, very well. We are hitting our rocks. We're also just mechanics-wise, you are hitting a lot of shots. I think that the big issue currently is target priority and kind of knowing what you should be doing in the fight. As a lot of the time here, you seem kind of lost on what you're supposed to be doing. So big thing I'll explain more after this game's done, but the big thing I want you to just pay attention to is try to make sure you're not getting too aggressive on Sigma, as he's not a brawl character, and also make sure you're not focusing tanks, and that's the one where I'll talk later after this round on.
Okay.
Bastion again. Can we get a Genji? Something to counter him.
Ryan's on point by himself.
I'll just counter the damn bastion.
Hog on the left, looking for hooks. Oh my god, dude! I
Called
knew
it.
he was looking for a hook. I cannot believe he hooked that far. I'm like on against the. I mean, that's why people pick hog on this map. But I was against the back wall. Oh well.
Yep, it is a 20 meter, right? 20 meters is the range, so gotta make sure we're trying to stay outside of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Make sure you're paying attention to kill feed and you're looking behind you. Right? We don't have anybody alive with us right now.
How you guys doing with that bastion?
I did kill the Mercy, but I think she was gonna die anyway.
Why would you choke
Oh man.
Alright, that's unfortunate. I think one of the major things that we're struggling with right now is our bubble usage, right? So make sure that we're looking to, when we're trying to get our energy up, right? They do have a Bastion, so it's going to be super easy to get our energy up if we're peeking Bastion when he's shooting at us. And then on top of that, just make sure we're really, really focusing on our bubble usage.
Okay.
As, you know, if you press tab, probably our average energy is not going to be too high.
No, it's bad.
Is it no heals?
Right, do you know what the problem was with that fight?
Me and Ryan went in alone.
Yep, exactly. So, if Reinhardt's gonna do that, don't go with him, or
Okay.
try to call him back and say, "Hey, Ryan, no one's here." Right? That way, only one of you is dying, not both of you.
Ryan's dead. Ryan's dead. Boom, 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 boom.
I was still shooting the hog. I cannot.
Yep.
I can't stop it. I mean, I don't know. I guess I had Brig there to shoot at, but
Yeah, Brig, Mercy is there. Also, pay attention to the fact that we do still have grab, right, when that was last fight if you lose.
yeah.
So, you gotta make sure we can use our ult. Alright,
Yeah.
so, I believe, so from what you just said, I'm assuming we have talked about target priority before, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So make sure that was an issue that we had in our last round as well as this round was make sure that we're not just trying to hard farm tanks the entire time, because that's pretty much what we were doing, and that led to us really never getting anything accomplished. So in our last round, when you're going like, I don't know what to do, you're really both rounds you're just kind of sitting there farming Ryan, farming Hog, and you are hitting your shots. It's just that it's not on the target, so you can very easily kill. Whereas support, you can burst them down, or DPS even, right? You can burst them down much faster. So make sure you're actively looking to seek those characters out. I think like on Sigma, your mechanics has improved a lot to where you're actually hitting more primary fires. You're hitting more rocks, much more rock. I think last time you
I
didn't
missed
even
every rock.
yeah, you missed every rock, and I don't even think you used it very frequently.
Yeah.
So that's really good. You're getting a lot better with the rock. It's just, again, we're not really focusing the right targets. And then that means so we can't really do much. I think kill feed watching was a big thing in a couple of those fights where multiple times we walked into fights where we didn't have anybody alive with us, right? So when we're coming back into fights, you can see, if you look through walls, you can see, oh, wait, I only have 2 teammates in there. Where does that mean the other 3 are, right? So we want to make sure we're watching kill feed, press tab, look behind you, don't walk into fights when you're only gonna have 1, 2, 3 people, because then you're going in a 3v6, right? So
Yeah.
wait for your whole team. Pay attention to kill feed for when you're winning, losing fights. And that last fight there, we didn't end up using grabs. So that's not very good. And then probably say the main point on our Zarya gameplay there was just that we didn't have really any energy. So when you know that you're up against a bastion like that, maybe what you can do if you're trying to get higher energy is wait until bastion's set up in a sentry and then use bubbles, or just use if you find the bubbles needed to for defensive capabilities for tanking, then we
Mhm.
can bubble. We just want to be looking to maximize our bubbles so we get the most energy out of them by using it when Bastion's going to be the most dangerous and he's going to be giving out the most damage.
Okay. Yeah.
Because theoretically, up against the Bastion, Zarya should have a lot of energy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just need to look to utilize it correctly. Already. You can probably go ahead and get into a queue.
All right. I'll be right back.
Traveling to Numbani. Prepare your defenses.
Um.
Select your hero.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo, yo.
Italiano.
Yo, your game started. Come back.
All right, here we go.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
There is no obligation.
Imagine the worst
to make
possible.
sense to you.
Now, avoid.
Okay, I'm probably gonna chill.
I see.
Understood.
My ultimate is charging.
Probably here-ish. I'll have line of sight of everyone.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Fuck, they have Winston on.
Monkey ball.
Soldier.
I think they're all going up your way. So
Oh.
Barrier in place.
Help, help, help. Oh, I slept Winston here. Can someone heal me? Heal me, please. Heal me.
Barrier is unstable.
Dude, heal me. Thank you.
Make sure you're putting on your shield when people aren't shooting at it, right? Recharge that up.
Soldier on that side.
What you did there,
Ana and soldier on coast.
zoning off the Ana and Soldier is really good value there, right? You're kind of using yourself to take out 2 people on their team. Just make sure that if if they're running away, you're looking to do something else too.
Sorry.
No, that was a bad combo. I have no abilities. That was my bad.
Ready. Yep. Kept shield up while we were using our E. I'm pretty sure you can put down shield while in the middle of using your E. Then besides that, do you think that there was a purpose to drop down from high ground?
No, I don't think so. I think my team looked like they're getting crushed, even though soldier and I think Ana were high ground. So,
Nice, get Lucio.
well, I got worried about the rest of the team, I guess.
Yeah, well, just keep in mind, us dropping isn't gonna do much to support our team, as a lot of our characters is distance based anyways, right? The most they can
Yeah.
provide for our team is a rock. So us keeping the soldier and the Ana out of the fight and keeping the high ground advantage is gonna be really good for us. Make sure we're rotating back the high ground in between fights there, but it's too late now.
I'm gonna try null here. I went for ball.
Shit, I missed my sleep.
Yeah, with your ult there, you can try to be a little bit more reactionary and wait until they dive in, because, you know, let's say they all dive in on somebody, then that means that they all group up, right? So we used it a bit early there, and then they all spread out because they heard us use it. But if we wait until after they dive in on somebody, that means that they're all going to be out of abilities and they can't get away.
Keep breaking the Winston bubble.
Yeah, that would have been much better.
Yeah, but because we had used it early, at like right as they came in, that meant that they all saw it coming and they all kind of ran away from you, and then they all spread out, and then you could only really get one person in it.
Yeah, and it was ball, which was, I mean, it does half damage, so it's not like horrendous, I guess. But soldier on the right. That was a mechanic failure.
Can we have ult? I have ult. So you can combo again.
That was funny. I think he had the sign post there.
Echo.
Soldier in shop on the right.
Nice. Soldiers here on the right side.
Don't feel the need to always open up with the eat. You eat when you're trying to stop, you know, like a big ability. So like honestly, but like, you can tank a soldier helix, but the big thing is you want to open up with a rock so you can finish him off fast. So you can, because you know that you have the advantage in that duel because you have more health. You can be a little bit more aggressive.
Okay.
Soldiers in the inside on the right.
Oh.
Help, Winston on me.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was bad. Oh, that should get ball. Nope. Yes.
Winston's here. Nice,
Engage. Signal.
I got you. I almost have ult again. You have to be line of sight.
Soldier top left. In.
Behind us, Echo. Thank you.
Missed it.
That dude really just charged off the fucking map with me, you know?
Alrighty, I think the biggest thing that we're needing work on in this game is our ult usage, because we've been not getting a whole lot of value out of them. So with this next one coming up, right at 80%, make sure we're really focusing on the timing and making sure that we're trying to look for multiple people close to each other. Because we're not just looking for people close to each other after we use our ult, we're looking for people close to each other to use our ult, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they have ult, so be careful.
Shields on this guy.
Up top.
Oh, that was a. I'm good. Oh, here.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, I should have shifted then. Why didn't I shift?
Unfortunate. We had a rock.
Echo 1 in the mini room on the right. That didn't matter. We were dead.
I think Ryan wasted his ult there just to get the two I almost have ult.
No, that wasn't right at all.
McCree, we can combo again. McCree, watch out. Coming back.
Echo and Soldier on right.
I think they're all main now.
60 seconds.
Break his shield. Echo's here on the right.
Alright, McCook.
Shit, sorry. Well, Echo, behind you guys, Echo. Watch out. Right there. Guys, Echo is signaling.
Why does it feel like it takes 6 hours for McCree to do his ult?
That wasn't a good time.
Okay. Make sure we're not getting right on top of the Reinhardt when we have a longer distance than he does, right? We don't want to get within his swing distance. Pay attention to where he's at, so he's not kind of getting the drop on him. And again, make sure we're not focusing the ball, but we're trying to do our best to focus like Soldier. And try not to like swap. I'll talk about it after the fight's done.
Soldier's ulting on the left.
Oh, that happens to me. And that's game. I don't know what that is. Game knowledge that.
Yeah,
you can't like target the cart exactly.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't know if it. Maybe it might be that like maybe since you're not aiming, I don't play Sigma enough to know if you can target cart. Maybe you're aiming too kind of far to the side, and then it kind of pushes it off the cart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, just make sure you're not just looking at where your crosshairs at, but then also where the outline is, right? Because the outline's the main thing that you want to be, paying attention to, because that will be where it's going to end up. So
Yeah.
when you're focusing targets, make sure that you're not swapping between things too frequently. As when we swap between things, we can't really focus them down and kill them easily. Whereas a lot of the time, it's seeming like we kind of go, all right, on a soldier, right, and then we go on a soldier, and then we go ball, right, Ryan, right,
Yep.
and we kind of go from thing to thing to thing to thing, and we never really
You wanna go?
focus in on just
Mhm.
just soldier. And then that means that we kind of spread out all our damage when we could be focusing in on one person and then getting that kill. Because the faster we kill things, that's always going to be better, right? I think I've explained this before. Faster we kill
Yeah.
things, the less time they have to get away, less time they have to get healed, less time they have to use tanking abilities. So it's always going to be better to kill things fast. So that on top of all the other things we talked about with target priority, we also want to make sure that we're not just swapping between who we're focusing at. Unless it's a justified swap, such as going from ball to a 1 HP Mora or something like that, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Do I just push up center because it's gonna be faster?
They have a jump.
Was that a question for me, or you said that in team chat?
I said that in team chat.
Hit him quick.
Sorry, no personal.
Turret's up top.
I think ball was just body blocking for junk on accident. I think, but
So, where's the enemy team probably going to be on this point?
high ground.
Yeah, we're gonna
So,
yeah, that's
if
fine.
our goal isn't ever to cap point, right? Our goal is to win the team fight, because if we can't win the team fight, we can't cap point the majority of the time. So even if we get the pick on ball, we probably still are going to need to win the team fight, because us up one pick, and we've talked about this with watching kill feed, one pick isn't a one fight. So make sure we're still probably going to want to go high ground rather than low ground, because that way we can, run into them on the high ground faster, right? Whereas if we're trying to just run the point, that gave ball time to get back, and then they just kind of stalled out and they had the better positioning.
Okay.
Okay, good job.
Let's go. I'm going high ground. Mercy resing on the left.
Alrighty. Two things. First off, messed up some bubble usage. All right, we missed the McCree when he was ulting, and then with our own bubble, make sure we're not backing up if we're trying to get energy, right? Because that's not going to be a good combo. If we're trying to get energy and we're running away, it's going to be harder for them to hit us. So make sure we're kind of holding our ground or even pushing forward sometimes. And
Okay.
then second thing was make sure you're
High
not
ground.
staggering yourself, right? If they're chasing you and you don't think you're gonna be able to make it out, don't try to make it out because then you're just wasting time and you're probably gonna end up dying.
Nice, go push.
Watch that lava.
Don't get choked up here. Push him, you gotta push him. Push this in the back, yeah. He revived the hand.
Monkey one. Monkey one. Oh, come on.
They're coming back. Coming. Nice, nice.
Torb.
Alrighty. He had some good bubbles. Make sure that. Well, make sure that you're not making mines your number one priority in that fight. It's better to
Okay.
avoid them and work on still damaging people than to fully focus on mines. The only times you focus mines is when they're about to kill you or you have the time to focus them. But people will 100% take the priority over mines. So make sure that if Mercy's going for a res, we're not wasting a nano and shooting at mines the whole time, but we're using the opportunity to shoot at the Mercy.
Don't have line of sight, Reaper.
Okay. Right now we're playing a little too passive. When our team is, getting aggressive.
Holy shit, I got put off the map.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm just backing out to point to spawn. We need to reset.
Okay. Press tab real quick. It's always good to check what ultimates we can combo with our grabs, so we can look at combo with High Noon. Would probably be the best one, or we can combo with Reaper. So we can always call that out and say, hey, we have High Noon and grab. Can we combo these, right?
Okay, yeah. I'm looking for Grav, Reaper. We're gonna win this fight anyway. I should have targeted that Mercy.
Good. No, it's actually fine, because in this situation, that means that they just wasted more time and got less kill deaths. So in that situation, Mercy resing was actually bad for them.
Yeah, okay. Reaper, let's I'm gonna hold up close for Grav Blossom. Oh, that was so close. That was so close. Can't believe we got it. Where's the Reaper?
Good bubble. With bubble, make sure also attempting to look around for teammates that might need it as well.
Grab on point.
Alrighty, so good bubbles on you and the Reaper, but we did run towards a nanoing whole hawk, right? Not gonna be a play you want to make most of the time. You know, that's a very close ranged ultimate that's also being nanoed, so we're gonna get shredded, and that was because we just instead of backing off and going around the corner, we decided to run at him.
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds remaining.
I think we're 6.
Good bubbles.
Oh, that's supposed to go Sigma. May on cart. Killed an ult. Ball on cart. Hold close to choke.
GG.
Alrighty, very nice. So in our next game here, I'll probably gonna look to just give you some shot calls and be a little bit more like kind of give you some hands-on kind of telling you when you should be doing things, giving you reminders. I'm not gonna talk over every single moment of the game, but I will be talking a little bit more often and reminding you, hey, pay attention to your health. Hey, back go in aggressively. You have a pick, back out. You're down people, and that type of deal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, probably say on Sigma, our biggest thing there was we were missing pretty much every ultimate.
Yeah, that was bad.
Then on our Zarya, up until that final fight, we were struggling a little bit with the bubbles, but we did bring it back, and you can see that you had whenever you have 100 energy, that's much better than when you have 10. So that you can really see the difference in the impact that we're making.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that you're playing very well, and that think you said you weren't playing much comp this week, but I think that if you were, you'd be seeing some improvement. So I'd encourage you to whenever you get the chance, just keep playing, because you'll probably start to see you'll climb, and then you'll start getting more challenges, because so far does look like you are a little bit higher than this rank.
All right. That's always good to hear. I just hope I can translate that into actual
Mhm.
SR.
Yep. And the big thing is also has to be consistent, right? Can't just
Mm-hmm.
be one time thing, or
Yeah.
like because I'm only seeing 2 games, 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you can probably
Yeah.
go ahead and queue.
Now traveling to Busan. Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
All right. Oh, next game.
Oh, never mind.
Thank goodness although I don't need priority requeue for tank, but oh well. Before they did priority requeue, though, that was a big bummer for DPS at least. Good. I did not want to play when the other guy was ball.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I always have a hard time with that.
Mm.
Together, we are strong.
We need a moment to ensure all our equations are correct.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds. I am healed. Be sure to stretch before engaging in rigorous physical activity.
Trying to set up a spam angle. You can also just spam them into their spawn. A lot of times you don't have to be too worried about getting, instantly melted, as there's not really much you can do that. And then at most you just can get some energy off of if you see people looking at you and starting to shoot at you. Right, so we can even peek and get some energy there. Right, so you can.
I should have shield. I should have bubbled there.
Yeah, you can even look to get slightly even more aggressive, and then that way you can get some early energy in.
Echo in the back.
Good target priority. And we are up 1 right now, so we can look to be a little bit more aggressive. Okay, down 1. Good target priority again. Focus to Zarya, not the Ryan here. Never mind, she got target pocketed, right? But back when she was half HP, you want to finish off the kill, right? Don't swap targets.
Sorry, no personal.
Okay, watch for the res here, as there's a good chance they're gonna go for it. Never mind. But it's always a good habit to get into, right? When they have a Mercy that we're watching for res. Now we want to be looking to use bubbles, right? Catch fire strikes.
Right in the trap.
Don't let her rest.
Right in half.
Good target priority. We've talked about right-clicking to finish off kills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure we're looking to do that. But I do like the target priority that we've had so far, right? We're not just staring at Ryan the whole time. We're focusing on the squishier targets, and then we've been focusing Zarya when she does get low. So really, really good priority so far. In between these fights, you look to go up a little bit closer and look to maintain your energy, because we keep letting it drop back to like pretty much 0, and then that means we have to restart every single time. So in between fights, push up a little bit more. We can get spam damage in, and we can get energy off of it.
That was crazy.
Alrighty, so
Risky.
yeah, you're in the middle of a fight, so I'll just reiterate what I was just saying. In between fights, we're kind of going from 100 energy to down to 10 energy, 20 energy, because we're not maintaining our energy. So make sure that in between fights that we're looking to push up a little bit and just poke for bubble usage, and you can even poke and get ult charge too. And then that way we're maintaining our bubble, or kind of our energy the whole time, rather than just not doing anything and then letting it drop.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So even right now, while our team's looking to regroup, we can just sit forward and poke a little bit, get some energy, and then back up. Oh, hopefully not get slept
As
out.
always. Yeah. Avoid that. Oh no. I need healing. Very nice jump. Gonna go contest cart.
Yep. Right now we're just looking to get the stagger kills and get energy back up. Right. We're always looking to get energy. Right. Even now, because we're trying to get it up for the next fight too. Okay. Good bubbles.
Zarya is nanoed. Figure she's probably gonna grab. Zarya in trap. Zarya no bubble at all.
Alrighty. Make sure that when you're going for bubbles, that you're not, completely stopping everything else that you're doing. I think this has been something we've also talked about in the past.
Yeah.
You want to look to make it a smooth transition to where you're going shoot, 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 instantly bubbling, shoot, 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 right? But instead, we're taking a 4-second pause every time we're looking for bubbles. Okay. And now, number one priority is getting that energy back up and touching cart.
This is really weird because they're gonna start spawning. I don't know why we went left. We need to just be backing out. We're down 2. Just back out all the way.
Yep. Good job backing out. Nice energy too that you got.
I'm looking for Grav. Grab on cart. I did not look to combo. That was my fault. That was a good bubble. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Good right clicks.
What are you doing, McCree?
He's just leaving the game.
What the what? Oh, he probably DC'd. Oh, ouchies.
Oh, kind of walked into that one.
Yeah. I don't know if I could have even find something to hide behind.
No, not really. That was important. The second one there was not really your fault. Not every death is gonna have something where they can stop it, but most of them will. Right, it's around 75% of deaths you'll be able to learn from. But something like that didn't have bubble, didn't have anything to do there. Maybe
Yeah.
you could have tried to run the cart, but I don't think that would have done much.
Yeah, I think he yeah. He joined. Yeah. I thought he was coming back.
Together we are strong.
There's nothing I haven't seen before.
Ugh.
We will complete our mission.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Statistically speaking,
Alright.
most of my team back alive, but who's counting?
Yep. So, we're frequenting high energies here. Just make sure we're looking to keep it up in damage wise, right? So we're playing aggressive when we do have the higher energy, and when we do have higher, when we do have shields available. So I think right here the aggression is something that needs a little bit of work on, right? So making sure that once we do have high energy, that we are playing a little bit more aggressive, so we can capitalize on it.
Okay.
Alright, so down 1 right now. Just looking for bubbles. We are even. So we are down our kind of main tank here. So we're looking to just play a little bit spread out. We got a second pick, so we are up now. Make sure you're playing on the front line, not behind your whole team. Alright, you're a tank, not a support. Yeah, aggressive, super aggro right now. Unfortunate, Doom kind of bullied you. Yeah, so better bubble usage should get you a little bit higher energy there, and then maybe just focusing the Doom down. You know, for 100 energy, even if Doom comes on top of us, we get to, you know, mow him down, right? So other than that, that's just when we don't have any energy, then we can't mow Doom down, and we don't get any value. Bubbling a little bit early, right? Bubbling and dynamite's not going to do you much, so just wait until he's getting around the corner. We're bubbling a little bit too early before anybody's really getting looked at, you know, because we went through that whole fight with zero energy, right? First two bubbles on ourselves and Sigma, too far, like, you know, we weren't even seeing the enemy team yet. They couldn't see us to shoot at us. Second round of bubbles, make sure you're not bubbling yourself or your Sigma when you're behind shields, right? Because shields just end up blocking it. So that applies to when you have a Ryan too. Make sure you're stepping in front of the Reinhardt shield whenever you're using personal bubble. And then make sure you're not bubbling supports if, you know, nothing's shooting at the support.
Well, he was on fire, and I was cleansing him. Is that not?
Usually
not. Is that not worth?
Not usually, unless they're about to die from it, because it doesn't.
Okay.
Or unless they're about to die from it, because it's not going to get you any energy, and so unless it's necessary for the tanking, you're not going to want to use it because you don't get any energy out of it.
Look at the graph.
Make sure you're not getting too aggro when you don't have like personal bubble, right? When there's 6 people staring at you, you just step too far out of cover, right? So make sure you're not running straight at them. A lot of the times we want to be a little bit safer and behind cover.
Good job, good job, good job.
Okay, yeah, my bubbles have been garbage right now.
Yep. You're good. Just make sure you're concentrating on them, and you're, you know, even if your bubbles are garbage for half of a game, right? You can stop that by just, you know, saying, okay, bubbles are garbage. Now, but we're gonna concentrate on how we're using our bubbles. We're gonna pay attention to abilities and time our bubbles correctly for when our bubbles are, you know, going to get value.
Okay.
Alright, so that's 1 good bubble. 2 good bubbles.
That was, I cannot believe that.
So instead of trying to dual bob, instead just try to get out of his line of sight and get away from him, right? Run around the corner. You're typically, unless you have your whole team focusing him, not going to be someone you want to focus because he's just not going to die. You know, even if you're at 100 energy, he has 1,200 health. So, unless you have 6 people looking at him, then don't make him your priority.
Okay. And I can't talk.
Alrighty, yep. Make sure that we're, you know, paying attention to where our team's at. We're a little bit far forwards there. You know, if we're going up ahead of our entire team, and the whole enemy team's there, right? That's a little too far. So make sure you're looking to
Yeah.
stick behind cart as using cart as cover. Make sure you're using Sigma as your main tank. You're not stepping in front of him a lot of the time, unless he's maybe in the back of your whole team. Alright, there I think our team pushed in when we were down a couple people, and then that meant that we kind of staggered our way into the fight, and we never really got a last fight, right? As well as the fact that
Yeah.
if you're gonna, same thing as the other game, that we had. If the round's about to end, right? You see, if you're paying attention to the top, and there's 10 seconds left in the game, and you're about to die, toss out a grab, even if it's one person, right? It's better to have it out there than to not use it and then not get value out of it.
Yeah.
I think that round was a very stark contrast. On defense, we had a bunch of good bubbles and we had high energy and we were able to do a lot with it. But then on attack, our bubbles kind of flopped and we weren't really getting high energy. And because of that, we weren't able to do any damage. We weren't able to do anything. So bubble usage was really big there. Make sure we're looking to get a lot more value out of our bubbles. Right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll blame that on my niece and nephew were harassing me the second round.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm gonna not take any of the blame for that.
Mm-hmm.
I know. No, I know. I probably could have done better, but I
get
could
it.
have done better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's things.
Yeah.
Already. Yep.
Yeah,
So
well.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just.
I feel really bad about that attack because that was
Mhm.
garbage and I know it. So. Oh well.
Alrighty, yep. So big thing there was just 22 energy average, and then I think it said that your career was 35 energy, on average. If you take a look at high level players, right? The high level Zaryas. Whenever I have a Zarya in my game, whenever they get a card, the card's usually so and so high energy kills, right? Probably say on average their energy is much higher, and that means that they get a lot more value. They probably I probably look it up on like overbuff or something. What's the average energy at a higher rank? But
probably at least 50.
Yeah, I might even think that it's like 60 or 70.
Yeah.
But I guess across all games, yeah, probably around 60. So the higher you're able to get that average energy, the more just in general you're gonna be able to do. So I can't emphasize enough how important that's gonna be for you.
Yeah.
Now we only have 5 minutes left. I guess let's do a wrap up then.
Okay. Yeah.
So Sigma, got to work on the ultimate usage, especially when we're up against the dive there where they're all spread out. Make sure rather than ulting and then looking for people grouped up, we should be looking for people that grouped up and then ulting, right? We're looking for them to group up and then ulting in response, not ulting and then expecting them to all group up. Because whenever we ult,
Yeah.
they're all gonna instinctively scatter, right? They're gonna just all go and hide, right? So we shouldn't have the expectation that after we ult, that's when they're all gonna decide to just run into it.
Yeah.
Now we did really well with our just primary fire, and we had really good rocks. And I think our shield usage is decent. Just make sure you're looking to drop it whenever you're using other ability, or whenever you're using shift, especially, and when people aren't shooting at it. Look to keep the high ground advantage and not just drop for without reason. Besides that, I think we played that. We didn't play Sigma too much. We just did that on one or no 2 rounds, something like that. Target priority is I think it was a big one, and we did do much better in our attack on this round. But make sure you're focusing the right things, not just shooting at mindlessly at shields the whole time, not just shooting at tanks the whole time. I think on our attack, that was another problem that we had, was that we just kept shooting at the tanks, or kept on just shooting at Bob, or kept on shooting at Doomfist. And Doomfist is all right, but we just didn't really look for the things that can get us value, or like look for the easiest things to kill. So look for the easiest things to kill. tanks, a lot of the time aren't going to be that. So look for DPS or squishy targets who are out of position, low HP. With our now moving on to Zarya. Zarya, big thing is bubble usage. If we don't have bubble, like good energy going, we're not going to be able to do anything. With our grabs, make sure you're not suiciding to go for them, and then also make sure that you are using them if you see that you're about to lose the game, right? Or for the rounds with the end or anything like that, right? If there's 10 seconds left in the game, if you're dying with it, then that means that you don't get any value, right? It's better to get a tiny little bit of value than to hold on to it and get no value. Use right click to finish off kills. Make sure with our damage that we're trying to focus down one target rather than swapping our focus and going target, right? We want to try to keep it on one, and then we swap if we see a really good target to swap to. And then probably final thing here would be to make sure paying attention to kill feed. And kill feed is gonna have a big impact on your aggression, right? As well as there's gonna be a bunch of things that impact your aggression. We might have talked about that. Did we talk about why the 2 is the middle man for watching when fights are won and lost?
Wait, a little bit. I think we talked about fights being won or lost.
So I said 1 to 2 people is a advantage, 2 to 3 people is a 1 fight. Just at any point here, let me know if this is something that I've just said before, and then I'll stop. But if I haven't said this before, then this is good to go over. But the reason why the 2 there is the middleman, right? The reason why 2 is in the middle is because there's a bunch of stuff that impact your aggression, right? Bunch of things that impact whether you're winning or losing. Which team has more HP, which team has more ultimates, which team is in the process of using more ultimates, which team has better positioning for you as a tank. How many abilities do you have? Or that in general too? Which team has more abilities? So as Zarya, do you have your bubbles available? As Sigma, do you have your shift and your shield available? Right, because all these things will impact your aggression. If you don't have those defensive abilities, if you don't have health, if your team doesn't have health, if your team doesn't have good positioning, right, then we can't be as aggressive because we don't have those things to back it up. So there's a lot of things that impact your aggression, not just kills. So we really got to be aware of what's going on around us, so we can also be aware of how aggressive we need to get. Alrighty, you got any questions about anything that we've gone over?
No questions. I got a scrim tonight, so I will be putting it to use, I hope.
Alrighty, I'm gonna stop the recording.